Hey, what's going on Facebook? How you guys doing? So, I was sitting here thinking about some stuff and sitting here thinking about some stuff in my life and when things have not always gone the way I wanted them to go. When things go in a different direction than what I really wanted them to go. And, I have experienced a lot of that. Not sure if you guys have. I know some people have. But I've experienced that where, things are not going the way I want them to go. I'm, anticipating this thing to happen or that thing to happen, and it doesn't happen. Or I have plans or goals and they don't come to realization fast enough. We've all been there. Most of us have been there. And so when things are going wrong for me, one of the first things that I do, and I made a list. I made a list of some of the actions that I take. But we've all heard that saying that there's sorry about that. I got a phone call there. We've all heard that there's three sides to every story. There's your version of the story. There's the other person's version. How you doing? Is it Marud? Murad. My apologies for butchering your name. Mitch Brewer, how are you, brother? Good to see you, man. So, we've heard that saying, there's three sides to every story. Your side, the other person's side, and then the truth. See, when people are going through things, when you're going through a situation, maybe somebody's attacking you, maybe things aren't, let's use that as the example. Let's say somebody's attacking you and everything you do, they're trying to sabotage you. Have you ever had anybody like that in your life or in your business? I have. I've seen it where, people are, and I didn't even know, from Algeria. Hey, nice to have you on here, man. So, there were people I didn't even realize they were trying to sabotage me until it was too late and they had already done a lot of damage. So what's the first thing that I do? The very first thing I do is this. Because I know that, and it's hard. What I'm getting ready to say is not easy to do. But the first thing I do is I look at my part in it. What was my part in it? Because I always play a part. There's always, if you're going to be a successful human being in this world, you have to look at your part. You have to look at, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better to make this situation better? What was my, why was I even in this situation? Was there a greed factor? Was there whatever? It doesn't even matter. You just got to look at your part and write down the things that you did that you could have done better, that you could have changed, that just write that all out. Write out your part in any situation that's not going the way that you want it to go. What's up, Raphael? How you doing, man? So, make a list of there's always a situation when you're involved with other human beings and you're trying to make business deals, or maybe it's a relationship or whatever. What is it that you did wrong or you could have done better to correct that situation? And is there something you can do to fix it? Is there something you can do to fix it? Now, again, I realize that there are times when people are attacking you and you're under attack, man. There's nothing you can do. You have to just look at your side of it, look at your part of it, and fix every single part of it that you have a part in. The other thing is the goals. I've read so many books on goals from So many different people. Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Tom Hopkins, Grant Cardone. And, you know, one of the very first times, well, it is the very first time ever, I heard Grant Cardone say, get my 10X planner and write your goals twice a day, write your targets every day, and write down your wins. What did you win for the day? What's up, Dale Childress Jr.? How you doing, brother? Andrea Pearson, how you doing? So, like, writing your goals down twice a day. The average person, and for me, in my life, if I wrote my goals ever, it was once a year maybe, and I would like, you know, write the goals down maybe somewhere around the first week of January. I might write down a list of 10 goals I'd like to accomplish that year, and then I'd fold them up and put them in a drawer and sometimes never look at them again. Now, I do believe that has power. I do believe that has power. However, when you're writing your goals once in the morning and once in the evening before you go to bed, when you're writing your goals twice a day, if the average person writes them once a year, one time a year, and the average person doesn't, so most people never write goals out in their life. But when you write your goals 2 times a day, at the end of 365 days, you have officially written your goals 730 times. Corey Calvin, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? You've officially written your goals 730 times. And the average, but it's not, the average person doesn't write their goals ever. But like, you know, the person that writes their goals 1 time a year and you've written your goals 730 times in a year, who's got the better shot at life, at winning? Who's got the better chance? That's a rhetorical question. I think everybody would say, of course, the guy or girl that's writing their goals 730 times has a better chance than the person writing them once. The other thing is when things aren't going right for you, when they're not going the way you want them to go, one of the best things, and this is the best piece of advice I ever received. That's right, the law of attraction. The best piece of advice that I ever received was, and it was long time ago. Long time ago. No, I got ran over by my mother's 1963 Ford Falcon. It's good to see that, top of the morning to you. That's right. So, you know, it's good to see you reading my book, Andrea. That's awesome. So this is the best piece of advice I ever received, and it was probably 15, 16 years ago when I first got sober. I've been sober 16 and a half years now. And, you know, as a newly sober person, I thought everything in the world was about me. And when things weren't going the way that I wanted them to go, well, then I would get into that pouty, throwing a fit, kicking my feet, screaming like a little baby, getting angry and upset and you know, introverting, putting all of, you know, just closing myself off from the world and pouting and throwing a poor me party, a pity party, right? So the way that I get out of that now, when things aren't going the way that I want them to go, the fastest way to turn that around is to help somebody else. I mean, genuinely help somebody else. Not talk about helping somebody else, but genuinely helping somebody else. Angela Totman, how in the world are you? Sean Weatherby, how you doing? Like, do something for somebody else. Something that's going to positively impact their life. That doesn't, so it was me. But like, if you get out of yourself, right? See, when things aren't going the way you want and you start falling into that depressive state, hey, Beth Hoover, when you start falling into that depressive state because things aren't going well for you, It's because you're focused on you and what you're not getting, right? But let me tell you something. It is 100% impossible, 100% impossible for you to be helping somebody else and be depressed about what you're not getting at the same time. You can't do it. It's not possible. If you really want to go out to a homeless shelter. You want to experience some gratitude for where you are? Go to a homeless shelter. Seriously, go feed the homeless. Go down to the streets where the homeless are and talk to them. Talk to them. Try to give them some hope. Chilling in the family with Italy. That's awesome, dude. Wow, that's awesome. So, you can't, again, you cannot stay depressed. You can't stay self-centered and self-focused and worried about what you're not getting if you're helping somebody else. So that's a big one. That is a key to life. When things are going wrong, help things go right for somebody else. And you do that enough, things will go right for you on a grand scale, I promise you. You've got to help other people. It is all about perspective. Somebody always has it worse, I promise you. There's somebody that always has it worse. And you can help effectively positively impact that other person just by getting out of yourself for a minute. Well, Ken, I can't pay my bills, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. I understand. I've been there 1.5 million times. But if you get out of yourself and help somebody else, it will expand and pour over into your life. I promise you, it's a law of the universe. It is impossible to help other people and not receive what you desire yourself. I promise you. Zig Ziglar, I've mentioned it a million times. I've got his little booklet here somewhere. Here, Zig Ziglar, hold on, here it is. Your happiness will pull you through anything. But there's times, Sean, and I agree with you, man. But if things are really going sideways in your life, right? All of a sudden things take a twisted turn you weren't expecting, you didn't want, you weren't hoping for, and you didn't even think would happen. Like all of a sudden things are going sideways. Well, it's hard to be happy in that moment, right? So the only thing that I've found that helps me, and I've seen it help other people, the only thing I've found that really gets me out of myself is when I'm doing something to help somebody else out. Lisa Patrick, my great friend Lisa up in Canada, she and I talked on the phone today, and we helped each other. And that's just the way it is. That's the way it works. You help other people. Zig Ziglar. I'm friends with Tom Ziglar, his son, and Julie Ziglar, his daughter, and Cindy Ziglar, his other daughter. I'm friends with them. And when I was in their headquarters down in Dallas, Texas, they gave me this little booklet. It's called Zig Ziglar's Little Book of Big Quotes. I know it's backwards on your screen, but look, the very first thing. Gosh, sorry, I got another phone call. Everybody's calling me right now, and they're friends of mine on Facebook. They don't see I'm live. Come on, man. So look. The very first thing inside this book is that quote, and since it's backwards, I am going to read it. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. Zig Ziglar lived his life by that. If you live your life by that, if things are going wrong and you go, you know what? I can't take it anymore. It's all just pissing me off and I can't handle the stress or the pressure. Here, go help somebody else. Go help somebody else. Get out of yourself and go help somebody else. And if you go help somebody else, you're getting out of your own way, man. You're opening, number one, you're changing other people's lives. You're positively impacting the lives of others. That's number one. And by doing that, you're shedding yourself of all those worries and concerns you have about everything else. Losing 2 new car dealerships in 2009 was a dark time for me. I never thought I could get back on track, but helping my employees that were fired as... Dude, right there. That's it, Sean. That is it. Sean, that's the answer right there. No matter what is going wrong, if you help other people, man, you can turn your entire life around like that. I mean, like that. You just got to help other people. Once you help other people, you pull them through all the muck, you help them, you lift them up. Man, your life becomes magical just by helping other people. So don't forget that. You get this almost this barrier, invisible barrier of protection around you. You get this invisible barrier of magnetic energy that starts pulling good stuff to you from all over the universe just because you got out of yourself and you went and helped other people. And I mean genuinely helping other people, not just talking about helping other people, but genuinely helping other people. Sean, you're right, man. Life becomes easy when others want you to win. Amen to that. This is really, really important. This is the last thing that I wrote down. Sometimes when things are going wrong, if you guys have never heard the poem, Alex Hill just called me. Hey, brother, how you doing? If you've never heard the poem, Don't Quit, I suggest you Google it. The poem, Don't Quit. And it goes something, and I don't remember all of it. It's something like, when things go wrong as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And blah, blah, blah. I don't remember the rest of it. But that was the majority of it. When things start going wrong, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a minute. Take 10 minutes. Take an hour. Take a day. Take a deep breath. Take multiple deep breaths. Because when things are going wrong and you're really anxious and you're really messed up, like... most of us forget that we need to breathe. And breathing is life. Like that is life, right? Breathe. In through your nose, deep breath, out through your mouth. Breathe. Just remember to breathe. Take a minute to breathe. And then push, man. You got to push hard. When things aren't going well, push. Go over here and help this person out real quick. Get back to your business. Make 100 more calls. Go out, send out more emails. Push harder. Do more posts on Facebook and Instagram. Push harder. Do a LinkedIn article. Push harder. Do a live stream on Facebook and talk about the fact that you build the best websites on planet Earth like I do. And that if you need help with your website, you need to hit me up because I can solve your problems. I don't care what they are. I solve website problems. Hit me up. I have huge people that I've done website work for and that we still do. So push hard, right? You got to let people know what you do, how you can help them, what pain you can solve, and then go help other people. Help other people along the way. I've had so many people hit me up. I'm talking thousands of people hit me up and say, hey, I want to pick your brain. And I used to allow that for free. Most of the time I still will for a few minutes, but when I realize we're getting deep, I'm like, hey, look, this is what I do for a living. So, if you'd like to engage with me, let's roll. Here's a link. You can pay me and we can get going. But you've got, so that's about setting boundaries, right? You got to set boundaries. Some people will just use you and use you and use you. And if you allow that, then that's on you. That's not on them. That's on you. And that was tough for me to swallow. Things are never as bad as they seem. Amen, dude. Amen. And that's something else. That's something else. Hey, Sandy, how are you? Dude, that's something else, Sean. You bring up a good point, man. Things are never as good as you think they're gonna be. what the problem is, and Grant Cardone talks about this, and I believe this is 100% the truth. We underestimate the heck out of what it's going to take, right? We underestimate it. We expect that we're going to open a business, which I've had for many, many years, right? We're going to open a business and then just magically we're going to be flying on a private jet with Sean Weatherby and his family over to Italy and just hanging out in Italy with Sean and the fam. And because, I opened a business last week and I'm magically a millionaire. That's not the way it works, man. That is not the way it works. There are so many bumps and bruises and cuts and I mean, you fall down and you get back up and you fall down and you think about staying down. You're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can take another hit. But then you get back up and you get back in the ring and you keep swinging and fighting. And eventually, after you've paid the price, you have to pay the price, man. You have to pay the price. If you don't pay the price, you will not value what you gain. Am I clear on that? If I give you free advice, you're not going to value the advice and you're not going to take as much action on the advice as if I charge you $5,400 for my coaching program. My coaching program is $5,400. If you want it, it's $5,400. Will I negotiate? Yes, it's $0 and we don't have to do business together. That's my negotiation. So, but you're going to value what we talk about a whole lot more if you've invested in yourself than if it's free. And I think we all can appreciate that and relate to that. Lottery winners typically are broke within the first couple of years. They can go win $150 million and within a couple, 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 years, they're broke, back to zero. Why is that? They didn't work for it. They don't value it as much. So the programming up here, all of those bumps and bruises, all of the conditioning that's required to be successful isn't there. So what do? They just go out and get rid of it. Go out and get rid of it so they can get back to their comfort level. They can get back to where they feel inside that they are supposed to be, and that's broke. That's how they're programmed. Not all. Some lottery winners make it, man. It's a small percentage, believe it or not. Lottery winners, they win millions, hundreds of millions, tens of millions of dollars, and they're broke within a few years because they go back to the thinking that's always kept them broke. That thinking doesn't change. The behavior doesn't change. Steve Harvey said it best at the 10X Growth Con. If you're a good person and you get a bunch of money, well, guess what? You're still going to be a good person with a bunch of money, and you're probably going to do really good things. Sean, I agree with that too, man. Sean's laying it out. Some good stuff right there. If you're a bad person and you get a bunch of money, Steve Harvey said it, y'all. I'm just going to repeat what he said. He said, can I say this? And Grant's like, yeah, man, go ahead. We're on a baseball field, man. And so Steve said, if you're an asshole and before you get any money, and then you go and you get a bunch of money, well, you're just going to be an even bigger asshole. That's what he said. And he's right. So it doesn't matter. You got to work on what's going on internally with you and keep pushing and keep doing the other things that I talked about, which is take a look at your actions, quit blaming everybody else. Don't blame other people, man. Even if they did you wrong. Even if they did you wrong. Even if it doesn't matter. Look at your actions. What could you have done differently? What could you have done differently? Make a list of the things that you did wrong to set off or trigger the bad events. Make a list of what you want to go right. What's the desired outcome that you want? That's the third thing. Help others. Man, that should be number one. If you help others, you help others. I promise you all this other stuff. And I'm talking about genuinely helping others. And if you don't know what I mean by genuinely, then I don't know what to tell you. Saint will take your glory for sure. Saint will take your glory for sure. That is, if you let him in. So, like I'm not sure I understand that. I'm not sure I understand what you mean there, Sean. But if you help others, money don't change you. It only reveals who you really are. You got it right there, Sandy. That's right. Help others. Help others improve their lives. Help others help others feel better about the direction and the quality of their life. Help others feel better. Go well, I don't have any money. You got hands? Can you crawl around in some old lady's flower bed and weed her garden for her? Can you run errands for somebody that can't get out of the house? Can you go down to the homeless shelter and give them some hope? You can, but will you? Oh, Satan. Yeah, absolutely. You can go help others. You can have a positive impact in the lives of others. And that's probably the biggest step that you need to take if things are going wrong. And all of these other steps I talked about, you need to do those, but you need to do it under the guise of helping others also. Start there. So I appreciate all of you for being on here. Sean, have fun in Italy, dude. That's awesome you're in Italy. Have fun. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you to anyone who shared this out. I really appreciate you. As you can see, the bronchitis is gone, but when I talk long enough, it flares back up for some reason. It's hanging on, man. Woo! It is hanging on, but I'm in much better shape. Hey, Larry, good to see you, brother. Good to see you on here. I appreciate you jumping in. And again, thank you guys for sharing this out. Thank you all, and we will see you very soon. Have a blessed and a great evening. See you. Bye-bye.